Alright, I'm John Power and you're watching the Redmen TV.
Hello, welcome to the Redmen TV. It's the Uncensored match build-up show ahead of Liverpool's trip to Manchester City on Monday. I have with me in the studio Chris Pajak, John Machin and Jack Hart. We've been discussing Mario Balotelli, which has been loads of fun, on Redmen Preview Week, which is the German edition of the show, in case anyone was wondering, over on the redmentv.com. 3 exclusive subscriber shows this week, full length, in depth, in detail, completely uncensored, and as Chris likes to point out, 100% biased. They're all free, so go and check them out. But yes, the small matter of the Premier League champions on Monday. Chris, this is a twat of a time to play Manchester City.
Pretty much, yeah. Pretty much. I mean, there's no good time to play Man City, is there? But second week of the season, we've
maybe during an injury crisis.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Yeah,
we've not.
When they're playing their reserves.
Yeah.
It costs like 150 million.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
If we could sign Balotelli, it might give us the edge. But no, it's really not. It's not a good time to play them, man. We didn't look great in our first game, going away, second game of the season, to the champions.
I thought it might have been a good time, being early in the season, that they might not actually hit the ground running, but they did hit the ground running.
They sort of hit the ground. Well, they hit the ground at a jog, I thought, and which is faster than we hit the ground, certainly. I mean, Jack, it was 2-0, wasn't it, against Newcastle on the opening game? I don't think they were that good, no. But they were typical City in that respect. We and Chris were discussing it, that Aguero coming on and getting the goal puts the game to bed and done, and a 2-0 win just looks so much more comfortable.
Newcastle got a lot of credit on that day for City being a bit crap. Lots of people saying Newcastle deserved something out of the game, but I don't think they had a shot on target, was the stat afterwards. They had one that just crept wide of the post. City just stepped up in the moments they needed to, really, and got the points. And
it's always a good result at Newcastle.
It is, yeah.
You win that. You're happy with that, aren't you?
Mm. On the question of, is it good time to play them or not? Was it the second game of the season 4 years ago? We played them on a Monday night, and
was it Monday night?
It was a night fixture, yeah.
Yeah.
I seem to remember that one not being too pretty and Hodgson being in charge.
Oh, of course, that was the infamous Mascherano game, wasn't it? We were watching that we were in Spain at the time watching that.
3-0.
So it's certainly better timing than it was on that occasion.
I mean, I looked at the first fixtures and I thought, we're going to struggle not to have a bad start to this season like we did in 2009. But then I looked at the fixtures. I mean, we play Southampton and Villa at home, and we play City and Spurs away. Now, we only got 4 points off those games last season.
Yeah.
Because we got beat at home by Southampton, we drew with Villa, we got beat away by City, and we beat Tottenham.
Yeah.
We've already got 3 points. So
far,
if we get a win against Villa, saying it's 6 points, that's actually a good start for them.
That's actually a very good way.
Rather than worrying, we got beat by City or whatever.
The only counterpoint to that, of course, is that it's the start of the season, isn't it? You want to get some points under your belt.
In 2009, our heads went down after like 3 games.
Yeah.
I don't see this squad's head going down.
No.
I don't see that kind of players at all.
We'll have to see. Well, obviously, we'll have to see. Let's hope we don't have to see, to be honest. But I think it's interesting. It's telling, isn't it, actually, Chris, because Vincent Kompany came out this week and he actually said their win against Newcastle took the pressure off this game, and I think similarly for us, getting the points against Southampton means that this isn't like a must win. It's not desperate, because if we'd lost against Southampton, you're looking down
6 points.
You're looking down potentially no points out of 9. When you come back to your next back at Anfield. Yeah,
it's an interesting one. I agree with Kompany to a certain extent. He's also come out this week and said, started the mind games with us over the Champions League stuff, hasn't he? He's come out and said Liverpool will find it difficult playing Champions League and stuff, and I think that's because he genuinely sees us as title contenders. And I think that's more telling than anything else that's come out from him this week.
Yeah. You know what else is a threat? When you pass the ball to Phil Coutinho on the edge of the Etihad. But anyway,
I think he's forgetting. I think that's why so many people are upset. He's sort of forgetting that we have more history and more experience of playing in the Champions League. This
winds me up all summer. We've had this Arsenal fans and United fans going, look, we're going to tell you, let's give you some advice. When you play Champions League football, it's kind of difficult. adds an extra pressure to the Premier League because it's more games. It's like, yeah, I know, we've played in the Champions League before. In fact, we've won it. We won it, and we got to a final as well, and we've been to a load of semi-finals. Just don't want to pop your bubble, but we fucking know we've been there and done it. I know it's been a few years, but Christ Almighty. No, I get the fact that, Jack, the vast majority of this squad haven't had to deal with it. Brendan Rodgers hasn't had to deal with it, so it is a concern. But I think it does sound like mind games from company.
Yeah, it does. I'm not fearful of this squad, struggling to cope with it or anything. So I can only think he is just trying to.
I think City are going to put so much into winning the Champions League because they have to this season.
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
That I think it's playing on their mind more than it's playing on ours.
It does. I actually thought. Yeah, I actually thought it was
playing them actually after the Champions League started.
It was actually. I thought that. Yeah, you're right there. It was kind of telling, wasn't it, Chris? Because they've been abysmal in the Champions League. Yeah. And you're right. You can only be dreadful in Champions League with that amount of investment for so long.
That's it. Pellegrini's obviously, I think he's bought himself some time by winning the league anyway. Yeah. I think he could probably get away with not doing that well in the Champions League.
He got to the knockouts last season. That's the first time they've got there, so obviously they'll expect him to do better this time.
Yeah. And to be fair, I really like Pellegrini. I think he's a top manager, and when you looked at we didn't have him and we got Hodgson instead, it's the kind of thing that can keep you awake at night.
I like the way he goes about his business as well. He's quiet, he's unspoken, isn't he? He just goes about and wins fucking games. It's good. It's a good way of doing it.
Yeah, although he does look dead at times.
All the time?
Pretty much all the time. Yeah, he does look vaguely like he's suffering from decompression at times as well. But he does.
Maybe he is deaf. Maybe he died ages ago.
Like Weekend at Bernie's. Anyway,
the worrying thing with their squad is that Zeko's looking absolutely on fire at the moment. Jovetic looked great in pre-season, and fucking Aguero came back and scored. Yeah. That's a fucking worry for them. And they've got probably the strongest spine out of any Premier League team.
And then around that, Silva, Navas, and Nasri.
Yeah,
decent, aren't they?
Decent.
Yeah. I think they're just.
Just spent £32 million on a centre half.
Yeah. So I actually think we're all being a little bit disrespectful to them because Chelsea the favourites for the title, yet Man City won it last year and have strengthened.
I again go back to that. I think they're going to be distracted this year, and Chelsea's target is going to be winning the Prem, and City's is going to be winning the Champions League. And that's the only difference, I think.
What are we going for? Everything. Yeah.
It's trouble, isn't it?
Great. Right, it's trivia question time. Dave isn't joining us this week because he's got stuff to do. Don't even know why I mentioned
He's
it.
still running.
Chris wrote the trivia question this week, so it's a little bit more succinct. Who was the last LFC player to transfer directly to Manchester City? Let us know the answer to that in the comments section below. One more time, who was the last LFC player to transfer directly to Manchester City? Answer comments below, and the actual answer will be at the end of the show. Okay, Moreno, Chris. He finally completed his deal. Yeah. And he's now registered to play. Should he go straight into the first 11?
I don't think so, to be honest with you.
Did you think so a week ago? I think he might. I think he did a week ago.
I probably did. Yeah, it's
now
just
that
so
now
difficult.
That the pressure's on, the game's closing in.
That's it. I mean, look, I would probably start Moreno and bench Manquillo and put Johnson in at right back if it was me. Okay. You know what I mean? That's probably an unpopular choice, to be honest. I think Manquillo's been good in his game last week. Definitely for me better than Johnson, but I don't think Johnson did that much bad.
To be fair, we'd all have Glenn Johnson on our side. Sadly, he doesn't play for Liverpool anymore. It's John Gladson.
I think Brendan would do the same as Chris is suggesting. He'd keep Johnson in, and then it'll be he'll probably think Moreno's a better fullback than Manquillo at this stage, so play him. And I'm not sure that most Liverpool supporters wouldn't get rid of Johnson and take a chance on Manquillo or Moreno.
I just don't think
it's a bad game to be playing both of them at once.
Yeah, look, I think there's interesting enough. We were talking about just on a random, without name dropping too badly, but we were discussing Arsenal yesterday, and it was something Ray Parlour was saying about Arsenal's fullback situation is that you can't have your two fullbacks up at the same time. You've got two attacking fullbacks on the pitch. If you're playing certain games and you're looking to go out and murder teams, great option to have. But playing Man City away from home is not the time to be going I think to be going too far out. I think the problem is, of course, is that logic says that Glenn Johnson is all Matt and Keogh are like defensive fullbacks, which they're not. But we know from what we know, Moreno he is a very attacking fullback, so there maybe is a concern that we might be going a bit too gung-ho. There's a good option though, I think, to have him on the bench, because I think it would be too much to throw him in straight away without having played a competitive game with anyone around. If Glenn Johnson has a stinker, like he's been known to have in recent months and years, you've got him there on the bench to bring on. No problem with that. No problem with that
That's
whatsoever.
what I'd be tempted to do. I think keep it the same, but have Moreno on the bench and introduce him. I'd even plan to bring him on, I think, providing we've still got a degree of control in the game. And I'd look to be bringing him on.
He'd have had a full pre-season anyway, wouldn't he, before he came? So
yeah. Well, he was ready to play in the Super Cup, wasn't he? He got pulled, so there's no problems there.
I think we're already looking at one change though, because I think Lucas is going to have to come out, isn't he? So I'd factor that in as well.
So. I mean, to be honest, before the game in Southampton, I was thinking we might want to play two centre holding midfield players against City. Well, if he ever plays two holding midfield players again, I'll go and shoot him myself. It was so awful. Both of them were so awful playing that system.
Yeah.
And if Joe Allen can't get a game after the way he turned that game round, even if it is City, to hell with it, let's get some movement and attacking emphasis into the midfield.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Jack, that's spot on there. Joe Allen. Yeah. What more could he have done?
No, I want Joe Allen to be picked in this game. I think amongst the City Giants, I think having him in there, he's quick, he's small, he can get about quickly, nimble, I think is the word I'm looking for. I think there's every reason to pick him in the team, and I think I'll be delighted to see him in there.
Question though, I mean, what sort of formation are we going with there? Because obviously we played very much a 4-2-3-1.
I don't think we started with a 4-2-3-1 against Southampton Spurs. I think Lucas started a little bit further up the pitch and fucking his legs died, and he just got further and further back towards his own goal as the game went on. I think for this game, I think you've got to play Gerrard in the sitting role. I'm not going to call it defensive midfielder because I don't think it is. And then you got the two people in front of him, either be it Allen and somebody else who does the running and who does the defensive midfielder work.
Henderson. Yeah, you happy with that?
Well, Henderson was. But for me, he was our best player by a long way last week. I don't buy this. Sterling was superstar last week. He scored and made one as well. But I thought overall his game was below par for him. Whereas I thought Henderson was on top of his game right the way through. Fantastic. So he'll play with Allen for me, with Gerrard behind them, and then you're going to juggle who you've got. Between Coutinho, Sterling, Sturridge, Mario if he's there.
I love how the smiles just crept around the room there.
But the other thing that no one's really mentioned with Balotelli and stuff is that at the moment we'd really struggled to play two up top, and we looked amazing in the diamond at the end of last season.
But in fairness, we shifted to the diamond.
Exactly, but we'd struggle to do that every week with just Lambert and Sturridge, wouldn't we?
Sorry, without. If we don't have Balotelli,
if we don't have Balotelli, I think we'll struggle to get that formation in, because I thought we were superb in that formation last season.
We were.
And playing the two up top, I think Balotelli gives us that, and that's something that we've got to consider.
Is there I suppose it depends.
And it also suits the midfield, I think, with Gerrard and the two in front of him, and then he could either rotate Sterling, Coutinho.
It's funny because the logic would say a diamond would leave you short in the centre of the park, but because it ends up being Henderson and Allen, conversely, you actually end up a lot narrower.
Last year
gives you more physical presence in the middle.
Last year was one of those games Gerrard didn't play, wasn't it, at City, and we were absolutely brilliant in that game. Yeah, with Allen, Henderson, and Coutinho as a three.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, it's going to be an interesting one. I think you can't discount the sheer quality they've got available to them. I mean, obviously they brought Fernando in now, still got Fernandinho.
Mangala as well.
Mangala's coming. What's interesting about Mangala is we talking about this yesterday, is that they spent £32 million on a player who's considered to not be the finished article, which, again, I suppose Liverpool have spent big money on players this summer, but we can't compete at that sort of level. It's just ridiculous. And people were saying that £20 million for Lovren was a lot of money, but that is it's ridiculous, isn't it? That's a lot. He's not
playing in the Premier League as well.
Yeah,
you know, at least Lovren's got experience in the Premier League and he's proved that he can do it here.
Yeah, and I'm looking forward to seeing Lovren again. Actually,
Yeah.
I hope he continues. And the only other question mark, maybe, I mean, I think Skrtel and Lovren came out quite well as a partnership overall. Although I still think Skrtel had his sticky moments there.
I thought Skrtel played the better out of the two, actually.
You think?
Yeah, I think there was a lot made of Lovren's performance, and rightly so, because he had a good game. But I think out of the two centre-backs, I thought Skrtel played better.
Really? Because I thought Skrtel had there was a couple of moments of pure Skrtel where he just miscontrolled it all, you know what I mean, and give the ball away in dangerous areas. Still
I think
needs
Lovren
him a
gave the
bit.
ball away a few times. His decisive long passing gave the ball away on at least 3 or 4 occasions.
Mm. That may be so. The case, but I think the case is Lovren's your first choice centre half, isn't he?
Yeah.
Come hell or high water, and it's just whether or not.
He did sort of. There was a lot more noise again out of our defence with him there, and there was a lot more attempt by him to marshal the back four, which Skrtel doesn't do. That was the difference for me.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So I think you're right. I don't think there's going to be too many changes to be made there. I think he could make a case one or two.
Let's hope he doesn't make any changes at the back. You know, centre backs.
Yeah.
Let's give him a run for a while.
But equally, if Sacco came in, for Skrtel, I wouldn't be asked. I'm not bothered. You know what I mean? I think that's a healthy position to be in, isn't it? You know what I mean? We've actually got enough quality there that we're not going. We're not.
I don't think I'd be doing that.
I mean, I'm not necessarily saying it's something that should be done, but if it's a decision he goes with, I will be happy with it, you know, on the day. Okay, let me know your thoughts on that in the comments below. What changes, if any, should Liverpool make? I mean, I think pretty much everyone would agree Lucas Leiva's going to come out. If you disagree with that, by all means, let us know. Glenn Johnson seems to be...
You've got us no comments there.
Yeah.
No one's going to disagree with that. If you agree with that, give us a big thumbs up.
Do you agree with Lucas coming out? Just write yes in the comments underneath. Glenn Johnson, I mean, look, he's public enemy number one amongst Liverpool fans at the moment. I think he has been probably the weak link, which is sad to say for a player of his should be quality and experience. But if you've got any thoughts on Glenn Johnson or John Glenson, his evil twin who's replaced him for the last 18 months, let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And Chris is right, give the video a thumbs up anyway. Do? No? I'll wait. Cheers. Okay, let's have some score predictions. Jack?
2-1 away win.
Okay.
2-1 away with.
Okay.
I was on the LFC Day Trippers podcast this week and I predicted a 2-1 away win, and I will again.
That's again. I think we're going to draw.
Someone pointed this out the other day and it was like, you're always more optimistic about Liverpool Football Club than me, and yet when it comes to score predictions it's always the other way around. I'm like 6-0, 0-0.
Apart from me random 5-1s, which always used to come off, but yeah, no, you're right. It's because if you're all fucking optimistic, I go shit. It doesn't
balance the show.
I can't. Yeah.
We need someone to do a running league table of our predictions.
No, I
don't think I've ever got one right.
I mean, how it would play out over the course of a season.
Yeah, I think City and Liverpool will both be very happy with a point out of this game. I think Liverpool are happier, but I think they both accept it.
I can't see it being like a 0-0. It's either going to be a 2-2 or something like that.
1-1. It's done.
Trivia answer, Paul.
Trivia answer.
That's what they're all sticking around for. The question was about 6 words long.
No, it wasn't. Who was the last LFC player to transfer directly from Liverpool to Manchester City? Any guesses? Not you. You wrote the question. Anyone? You put it. You did the shout for the obvious shout to be Deep Mahaman.
Yeah.
But it can't be because
he went via Bolton.
He did go very briefly.
It's a long way to go to City from Bolton.
Yeah, it's like stopping in a service station.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want me to give you a hint? He played 39 games for us, and he played 39 games for them.
He only played 39 games. Oh, really? Wow. His shirt number's currently, well, maybe not currently vacant. It's shit.
His shirt number was.
He wore the number 7 shirt for Liverpool.
He gave it to opposition players more than he gave it to Liverpool players.
Scored in a 3-3 draw with Man United at Anfield.
He had a very famous dad who was a great manager.
Nigel Clough, there we go. If you got that straight off the bat without Googling, then you're clearly some sort of hero. Anyway, we're going to wrap up there. Don't forget to check out Redmen Freeview Week on the redmentv.com. We've got a Mario Balotelli special, which if that's collapsed between the time of film and you're watching this now, it's going to look very stupid. There's the Reds transfer roundup show where we talk about Liverpool's need for a striker, which is now far less potentially pressing, and all kinds of other stuff, so go and check them out. And if you want to watch next week's shows, it's not Redmen Freeview Week, so you can go and sign up because it's boss. Anyway, thanks very much for watching. Don't forget to click the subscribe button in the top corner of the screen to subscribe to the YouTube channel for completely free, which is something separate. I know it's confusing, but it is. And we'll see you for the post-match reaction stuff next week. Ta. It looks as though Mario Balotelli, Chris, is a Liverpool player.
I love the mad bastard. He's as mad as a box of frogs, but I absolutely love him.
He is as bad as a bag of tits, him, and
fucking right.